regulatory landscape for medical devices and notified bodies.
Good afternoon. We are all aware of the diversity and complexity of medical devices which are available on the market, fueled by the fast advancement of technology, engineering, the sophisticated artificial intelligence, which we've heard about for quite some time, and the enthusiasm of industry stakeholders, to which this conference is a testimony. Where does that leave us? There are over 2 million and counting different medical devices and in vitro diagnostics which all converge to patient use, the patients and their healthcare professionals. And the impact on the end user is quality, safety, reliability, and effectiveness of the device. Vigilance is embodied in the EU regulations, the 2017/745 for the medical devices and the 2017/746 for the in vitro diagnostics. And we have to say that different stakeholders, be it manufacturers, notified bodies, authorized representatives, distributors, the users, and the regulatory authorities all partake of vigilance, which is further than just a concept. On a national level, we took up vigilance as an extra step, and we've introduced the role of the medical device registered person, which would be equivalent to the responsible person in the pharma industry. And this initiative is one of the initiatives put forward by Malta, which was positively looked upon by our EU member state colleagues. On a practical level, with vigilance aspects, we have to keep in mind that with medical device industry, this is not the case of a one-size-fits-all, because whenever we are putting forward on the market to the clinician a new device or a device with added-on features, we are putting the clinician and the end user at the start of the learning curve. So we need to look more into the use or the appropriate use of the information for use which accompanies the device, and also with the intended use of that device as intended by the manufacturer. And these all influence practical aspects of vigilance. We have to keep in mind that we are all committed to understanding patients' needs and enhancing communication between all stakeholders for the safety of the patient. A focus on incident reporting, which in vigilance we need to work more to strengthen the awareness of patient-centered incident reporting. Even one single incident report could be important to allow us for signal detection and trend analysis. And I would like to link this point onto the next point, which is the Malta's leadership in vigilance within the EU. Only last week at this conference center, we held the second workshop on joint action on market surveillance, work package 5, which is led by Malta, specifically targeting harmonization of signal management and best practices, where different member states were working on definitions of signal detection, best practices which will be put forward for harmonization across Europe in terms of vigilance. On a final point, sometimes we tend to forget or underestimate the importance of clinical vigilance, clinical investigations as part of the vigilance mechanism. And with clinical investigations, here we're looking both at pre-market studies leading the device to the CE market, or post-market studies where the devices already have a CE marking, but there are testing or validation processes undergoing to extend the intended for purpose use. And clinical investigations give space for innovation within safety parameters, and it also facilitates the regulatory aspects, bringing together various stakeholders working together in the aspect of vigilance. I would like to mention here that we are partaking into an ongoing research by one of the team members, Shirley, who is looking at the possibility of establishing a clinical investigation hub to facilitate communication between the industry who would like to have the space for innovation, but also with regulatory aspects and with clinicians who will need to test the devices in a clinical scenario. In conclusion, patient vigilance is at the center of our responsibilities, but we have to make sure that it is a shared responsibility from the manufacturer up until the actual user. And this is based on a set of collaborative practices based on innovation. And this whole vigilance framework centers around the patient's needs. So we need to work together in terms of vigilance to keep the patient safety at the same time as allowing space for innovation. Thank you very much.